That's easier. That is a thing. Um, 6230. I hope you can run the square baler. I'm assuming you can because you were given it. So that's interesting. Okay. A good thing to notice here is we no longer are getting a windrower with this setup. And I have noticed in the past you get the big M and then you end up getting got a nice little yellow weight to go with this. And then you got a windrower. And it's sort of, I'm making silage. So I can windrow with the big M, and then I can run around with the baler, and then I can wrap it, and then everybody can go home. And that was kind of weird. Now, obviously, if the contract is a straw contract, absolutely, I need a windrower because I have to TED it. So that's how things work. But it's kind of weird to get a windrower when all I'm doing is cutting grass and then wrapping it. And our workers got stuck. Ugh. Get out of here. Okay, I'm probably going to have to do exactly the same with the JCB. Oh no. Looks like the JCB made it. That's a good thing. Let us okay, everybody's good again. Let's see if we can actually make it this time. So 26,000 will be good. Plus we get income from the bales, and I will be selling silage bales immediately. Maybe. Now, of course, going maize plus, there's going to be some learning with that, but I think you have to condition the grass, i.e. make it, I think it's wet grass, conditioned grass, semi-dry hay. And I think to be able to wrap it, it needs to be conditioned. So you can't just mow the grass and wrap it. You have to mow the grass and condition it. So if you're using a... good job again. If you're using a mower that has a conditioner, then that all works and you can condition the grass as it's cut. If you're using a mower without a conditioner, probably something like the mower we have, then you have to TED it to condition it. So you will need a tedder. Cut the grass, TED it to condition it, TED it again to semi-dry, TED it again to hay, if you need hay. So 3 tedding unless your mower has a conditioner. This mower, pretty sure it's got a conditioner, so you can set it, you can turn on the conditioner and just TED twice to produce the hay. Now because when was that a function of seasons? I think that was a function of seasons. Oh yes, I saw that. That's a nice piece of kit which might come in useful sometime. But yes, so I forget what I was talking about now. So that was the thing. We should have some baby cows soon. Yay, baby cows. Alright, here we are. Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm looking, or some of the things I'm looking at. It's like a forager. What is it? This thing. Now you can attach that to a front of a tractor and attach one of these. Not a big one of these, but you can attach. I think that's a mower. That's just a collector. Not very handy. And this thing is a chopper. These work on mostly the same. That has corn. I think this one does grass, not corn. But other than that, you can whole crop everything else with either of those. But you can't use the big ones. You have to use the smaller 4.5 meter, 6 meter. You might be pushing it, depending on your tractor is, and you're going to need a huge tractor. And if you got a tractor that big, why aren't you using a forager? Okay, let me. Oh, this is difficult. Shall we say? Let's unfold that and go tell the rest of them to stop following me. Okay. I need that help on toggle work mode control Y. Yeah, that one. Lower it. And go mow. So we can turn the home screen off because why wouldn't we? Oh, we have GPS. I forgot about that. Now I have taken. I'm still liking the. What is it? The rake that we have, the Vermeer Rake. It can be annoying to use, so I'm generally just setting a worker off with it to do the rows in the middle of the field, and then I have to go back and do the headlands. Typically I need to do the thing. I need to words fail me. I need to bale up the rows in the middle of the field before I get to doing the rows on the headland, because there's bales in the way and all sorts of fun stuff like that. But still, it allows me to do the rowing while it allows the rowing to be done while I'm doing something else. That's what I was considering. Okay, so maybe I'll do the trip round and then I will probably do 2 headlands, set up the satellite detector, and we'll run some rows with GPS. And this does miss. The front and rear mowers do not follow precisely through a tight turn. So this thing is actually better as used. So we will. I think if I lift that, it lifts the front, we still get the back. Oop. There we go. Still best doing this in straight rows, just because. But the nice thing about this thing is it doesn't take long to do this job. I don't think I need to do more than 2 headlands. Cut that, lift that. Okay, let us get this thing lined up and set up the GPS. So, I need to back up a bit, don't I? Yep. Alright, Alt C, GPS is on. Control S, auto width, 10 meters. Set a cardinal 0, back, and GPS is on. We are in drive. Go drive, as our former foster year kid would say. If you tickle his leg while you're putting him in his car seat, go drive. Okay. Anyway, so this will not take long at all. And technically, if I saved the course, I could reload it in the green tractor and have the baler run exactly the same course. I'd have to bale the headland, of course, because I didn't set GPS on the headland. Maybe I should have, but well. When you get that front mower on that little tuft of grass right there, boop, we will get another headland done here, and then everything else is on the GPS. And this should be good enough timed that I may get the baling start before the end of the episode, but I don't have to inflict the wrapping on you guys, which is something I find to be relatively painful. Okay, lift that, and I will do this from this top edge. Didn't really cut that. I didn't cut the headlands very straight, but that doesn't matter too much. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. And that was the wrong way to turn. That's okay. We have rear wheel steer. So, lower the front, lower the back. Come on, back, lower. Yay, off we go. So yeah, well, I mean, I hummed and hawed about doing this with the round baler, our round baler, wrapping the round bales with the square wrapper, which is allowed, and then using our bale trailer to haul the bales to the sell point. It's the quick way of doing it. It's not the quick way of doing it, and what I should be doing is using follow me with the round baler on, so that the worker is tipping the bales. However, it does make the fewer cell trips, because we have more product on the trailer. But to be perfectly honest, it's probably easier for me to drive the square baler and just rapid drop the bales out the back. We will lose some grass. I mean, obviously, if we use our baler, we get to keep anything that doesn't drop as a bale. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. Trying to think what other mods dropped this week. I must admit, I haven't paid much attention to the mods this week. As I said, there was the companion to the Kubota DLC that adds jump seats to a lot of the base game equipment. So potentially there's a seat there. This could carry a passenger, and with that mod it would carry a passenger, and you can ride in the passenger seat while the worker's working the equipment if you want to. But I don't, I very, very, very rarely play multiplayer, and so having the ability to carry passengers in a playthrough isn't something I need to have loaded. But it is what it is. So there was some fixes to contracts on the Maypole release this week. I don't know what it is. We did find that when I did the harvesting contracts, we only got about 2,000 litres of bonus crop from the contract. So it really wasn't a lot. I did a lot of contracts, and it was stupid, because it cost me way more to do the contract than I was... it would cost me way more to lease the equipment than the contract was paying out. But so borrow the equipment, it only costs you 1,600. Leasing this thing would probably cost me 10,000, and by the time it's all said and done, I make no money from the contract. So And with harvesting, I've still got a question about wear and tear on equipment. The problem is there are a lot of fields on this map that have stones in them. Oh, hello. That field's been harvested and limed. Now might be the time to buy it. Although I know Virtual Farmer on his Attingham Park playthrough, he bought a field that had lime on it. And then when he did the soil analysis, the pH level was just bad. So he had to relime it. Well, obviously you've got the lime texture on the field, you can't lime it again. So you have to do something else, like pick up the stones, which turns it into a cultivated texture, at which point you can lime the field and it says, oh, it doesn't have lime already on it. I'll let you do that. And it's the problem, I've seen it in past farming simulators where you buy a field, it has the ploughed texture on it, and you check the field state, needs ploughed. And you can't set a worker off on it because a worker looks at the state of the field, or looks at the texture of the field, and it says it's just been ploughed. So the worker says, I don't need to do this, and I don't think even if you try and do it, it does anything. You have to put another piece of equipment over the field in order to eliminate the needs ploughed state, which is really, really annoying. With precision farming, it would appear that if you buy a field, when you buy a field, the texture on the field doesn't matter. It will, the states are not cleared. The pH and nitrogen are not adjusted according to what you see, and so it's not a good thing. Okay. Stick that on cruise control. Check. Yeah, store sales. We got that added, and it's only 9:30 in the morning. I'm still trying to get to grips with, because that wasn't there at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know what frequency new vehicles appear on that sale. I mean, sometimes there's new vehicles at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes there isn't. So I'm pretty much, most of the time, I'm just go to bed, wake up in the morning, check the vehicle sales, and then forget about it. Actually, what was it? Beginning of July, there was a John Deere X9 harvester on the vehicle sales. About £279,000 for it. Go. Which I think is quite reasonable. There's the X9 500. Yeah, it's about £275,000, but it's a big giant harvester, and in the words of Millennial Farmer, I don't need something that big. And I don't need something that big. Not right now. Now, eventually, when I've got half the map owned, it might kind of be useful. Although, as I've said before, getting something that big into the fields is going to be an absolute nightmare. We are going to need a smaller harvester to break into the field, and then a larger one to do the majority of the work. And that might be a thing that will probably end up being a thing we look at. So that little Fendt that we've just been using might be an ideal harvester to have on the fleet just to clear the gate, or something even smaller, something that big or that big or that big, just something I don't need a header trailer on the front of, and I can just drive it through the gate, clear the entrance, and give myself room for a big header trailer to come in, and grain cart, and all of the supporting hardware. Oh, I'm going backwards. Let's go forwards. Forwards is good. Now backwards is good. Oop, there you go. Go. But as far as lands is concerned, this field is good. Field 53 is going to be one of our fields. We are going to need the grass eventually. Field 54 would be good. I think the ground on that is fairly nice. And then we'll start working our way 58, 61, 57, 56 and this yard, and we might move into this house over here. That's our immediate farm expansion plans, and since we have variable priced fields, we're probably going to end up buying the fields as they become good value. So if the field is 120% of average land value, not going to buy it. If it's 78%, it might be worth taking out a loan to buy it. But we'll have to see where we end up when that all happens. As I said, it isn't taking us very long. Not the biggest kit, not the fastest kit, but certainly one of the more efficient pieces of kit that we can do this on, and primarily because the mowers are all attached to the frame. They're not dragging around behind you creating plots of grass that don't get cut like we've been doing on our field. Okay, and GPS on, go. So what do you reckon, about 3 more passes after this one? So we're going to end up at the wrong end of the field. Oh, Mrs. Osa is home already. Okay, that was unexpected. So we might call it here, I guess. We'll be back next week. She'll be collecting the kids, so we may have one of our slightly extended episodes. And I honestly don't know what we'll be doing next week. Probably considering expanding the farm. Obviously, as far as fall goes, we don't have any crops to harvest. We will be planting stuff in our, or at least one thing in our fields. I'll probably plant oats in the field that had canola. The field that had sorghum in, I may put canola in. I may look at soybeans or something like that. But we'll see where we end up on the planting schedule. Other than that, I think we are good here. So everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy your week, and I will see you next weekend on Maypole Farm.